What's going on? It's your boy Richie, and we're back with another reaction video. Today we got top 10 scariest cults you don't want to meet. So let's get into it.
Why do you...
Hello and welcome back to the most amazing channel on the internet. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and I thought that you guys would like this video. It seems very on trend with what you like watching on this channel. We have the top 10 scariest cults you don't want to meet. Name me a cult that you do though, hey. Before we get started,
You know, I would probably want to meet some cults just to see what's going on in their mind or how they're getting people to follow their sick ways. You know, just to see the whole process of why people get brainwashed and sucked into cults in the first place. You know, what drives these people to be attracted to these cults. So I would kind of want to meet them just to get some kind of research done and see the whole psychological thing behind that.
it is customary for me to ask you a question, so do take this with a pinch of salt because cults can be pretty bad. But if you were gonna join a cult, what would it be about? The only cult I can see myself joining is like a cheese cult where we basically...
If I was to join a cult, I don't know. I don't know what the cult will be about. Money? A money cult? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what kind of cult or what your cult will be about if you were to join one or create one in the comments below.
eat cheese, you know? Maybe drink a bit of wine, but not like in a culty way. We'll just drink wine and eat cheese and it'll be nice. But maybe I don't need to join a cult for that. Let me know what yours would be in the comment section down below. Also, while you're down there, why don't you like this video? Give it a good old thumbs up, share it with a friend, join the cult of most amazing top 10 by subscribing.
Same thing to everybody watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. It helps us creators out a lot and we appreciate it.
Wait, what? And stay tuned for the rest of the video. Coming in at number 10, we have the Nexium. The Nexium have been in the news a lot recently. I'm not totally sure if I'm pronouncing it right because it's spelled very strangely. The cult was allegedly an American marketing company that offered professional and personal development through a series of executive success programs. Now it turns out that it was basically a pyramid scheme, which, you know, kinda sucks. But beyond that, it seems that the Nexium have been accused of housing a cult called DOS, or often called the Vow. This is a cult where women are branded and forced into sexual slavery, allegedly. Nexium's leader, Keith Ryanair, is said to be the head of the cult too. Here's a snap of one of the so-called branding wounds. Now each stamp is said to contain Ryanair's initials. Dynasty actress Catherine Oxenberg claims that the group brainwashed her daughter, convincing her to send them nudes as collateral so that she's deterred.
I personally haven't heard of this cult, but then again, I don't watch the news or really keep up to date on the news. But I have been sucked into pyramid schemes when I was, you know, a teenager and trying to get extra money on the side, you know, to buy stuff. Yeah, but those are cults are more of just, you know, buying things, not more of the whole sexual abuse and dark shit that goes on.
Ever leaving. On top of that, it said that members are said to provide secrets and bank details to stop them ever departing. It seems that in the DOS cult, members are forced to recruit more people, and if they don't, they're beaten with paddles. It is said that there is an Emmy award-winning actress high up in the group recruiting new members. Now this is all going on in Albany.
I notice a lot of these big cults have some kind of celebrity in there that pulls people in, kind of like attractive character that people are drawn to, and then they get sucked into the cult. You know, not at first. At first, it probably seems all great and awesome, and like, you know, but once they start going up the ladder, it starts getting dark and scary.
New York, apparently. Actress Alison Mack of Smallville has pleaded guilty to racketeering charges brought against her for her involvement in the cult. She said, "I'm very sorry for those who I've hurt through my misguided adherence to Keith Raniere's teachings." Okay, was anyone else sitting there listening to this thinking about the whole Collateral thing and thinking it sounds similar to another popular American organization? Because hello, Church of Scientology at number 9. A lot of people consider the Church of Scientology to be a cult, and I mean... Actress Elizabeth Moss has urged people to be more considerate towards people.
Now, this one is big because of Tom Cruise and John Travolta. I think they're big members, and they're the face of this Scientology. I have came across many of them when I was in LA, and I even took a tour of the place, and it's a weird feeling when you go in there. I mean, everybody seems happy, but kind of forced to be happy, and kind of like robots, I want to say. But it was a weird vibe when I went in there and checked it out. Yeah.
Have different beliefs to them, which I can totally get on board with. But that being said, the rumors surrounding the church are actually pretty intense. The church is famously attended by Tom Cruise. Now, if the rumors are to be believed, then the Church of Scientology gets people in with a personality test. It then gets them to work at the church for free.
I did take that personality test, and apparently I was depressed and needed help. But I took it a couple times, and it seems like no matter what you check, it comes out that you're depressed and you need help. So you could pick probably all kind of happy, marking happy, I'm great, I'm fantastic, I'm living my dream life. But when the results come back, you're depressed, you're not happy, you need help.
Or donate a boatload of money in order to proceed to the next level. They are also required to give collateral to the church and sign a billion-year contract to the cause. As they climb up the level, they are taught about the intergalactic overlord Xenu. On the Scientology website, there is a frequently asked question.
So if I remember correctly, Xenu is a character from the leader's books, because he writes comic books and all that kind of stuff, and fiction books, and I believe this is one of the characters of his books. And for some reason, he became the god of Scientology, I guess. I'm not sure how that works, how a character comes from like a comic or a book and all of a sudden becomes, the leader of a church.
Titled, "Is Scientology a Cult?" Now, according to the church themselves, no, it isn't. I quote, "It is a religion in the fullest sense of the word." They would say that though, wouldn't they? Coming in at number 8, we have the cargo cult. The cargo cult story is basically a morality lesson for those thinking of abusing their powers over others. Stephen Tari gathered 6,000 disciples in Papua New Guinea's jungles and encouraged them to be part of his sect. He started wearing white robes to conduct his sermons and preached his own version of gospel, calling himself Black Jesus. His cult relocated to the jungle and lived a somewhat
Didn't somebody else call themselves Black Jesus? Wasn't it Kanye or something?
Existence with Tari at the helm. As well as indoctrinating people to believe he was a holy man, he also encouraged them to do his bidding. He would lead people to murder and eat others. On one occasion, he even slaughtered a virgin that he called his flower girl and encouraged his followers to drink her blood. One mother testified that she was made to drink her own daughter's blood. Now, at one point, Tari was sent to jail for his crimes, but he managed.
See, this is why cults interest me. Like, what could you possibly do to brainwash somebody so bad that they would do that to their own daughter? Like, I don't know, are they easily brainwashed, or like what goes on in these people's minds to even do this kind of stuff? Even just drink blood in general, like, no matter whose blood it is, it's like doing that kind of sick stuff. Like what do they teach these people to get into that thing,
break free and back into the arms of his former cult. However, in 2013, he kinda got his just desserts. The cult went too far when they abducted and killed a 15-year-old schoolgirl from a nearby village. 80 men from her village then set upon Tari ahead of a big feast his cult followers had planned for him. Now, he was pretty savagely hacked to death, but probably fair. Authorities in Papua New Guinea are worried that the cult still exists, with a new leader taking charge. Coming in at number 7, we have the Agori sect. Just when you thought you already had enough flesh-eating cults for one video, I am bringing in another, and they have a weird sex ritual thing going on too. Cults. So the Agori sect are involved in an ancient religion. They worship the
It seems like a lot of these cults come from third world countries. I mean, there are American cults, but none have, as far as I know, sick stuff like, butchering people, drinking their blood. I could be wrong, but the most of the stuff you hear from about that kind of thing is from third world countries.
goddess Shiva, or sometimes called Kali. Often this goddess is associated with death and destruction. A website I found about the sect told me that when Kali wants satisfaction, the usually celibate sect find a corpse to, I don't need to say it. Do I? This isn't the extent of their relations with the dead either. They will also eat their flesh from time to time. They also do believe in spiritual healing and transformative power, which is less threatening. I was almost in a bit of a, you know what, you do you kind of space, so long as they aren't hurting anyone and the dead people they do, get with are kind of like former cult members that would have consented to that. But anyway, do you know what? After watching a video of the Agori talking to a journalist, I thought, again, maybe this isn't okay. And when I say maybe,
is that bones and teeth on his head? Man, that dude looks like a serial killer out of a movie. Damn, looks like a crazy mother.
I absolutely don't want to tangle with them. So basically the journalist goes to meet them and he's given a crown of teeth to wear, which is one thing.
Okay. Alright.
He's like, what the hell?
Okay. Maybe I'll take this off right now and then...
But then the journalist asks a fair question and the answer is very stressful. Have a listen.
People on that side of the river are so afraid of the Agori.
Okay, the final straw for me is when this happens.
Why do...
Rightio then. Coming in at number 6, we have the Superior Universal Alignment. Luckily this cult no longer exists, but historically speaking, you wouldn't have wanted to meet them. The SUA was a cult founded by a woman in her mid-70s, Valentina de Andrade. It seems that the cult were prevalent in the 90s in Argentina. Their satanic murder rituals kind of overshadow the group's intentions, but it seems that de Andrade believes that she received a message from aliens that God does not exist, and that actually Jesus himself was an alien who was tasked with bringing about the end of times. Those who purged evil would be saved. How would one go about purging evil? Well, according to the aliens and the SUA, it would be killing boys born after 1981. Before, fine. Afterwards, evil. First, she tried to convince people to give up their children so they could have a spot on her spaceship, but in the end, the cult leader straight up encouraged her followers to abduct boys for sacrifice. In Argentina, at least 19 boys were mutilated and murdered. 5 of them were never found and a bunch more escaped, but some of the escapees had already been castrated. So grim. While the cult leaders were brought to justice in 2003, it seems that offshoots of the SUA may still exist in Austria. Coming into number 5, we have the Order of the Solar Temple. This cult was founded in 1984 by Joseph de Mambro and Luc Journet in...
Some of these cults make the cults that I know about in America seem like nothing. I mean, at least they're not freaking eating bodies, drinking blood, butchering people that I know of anyways. But I don't know.
Geneva, but they also had offshoots, and perhaps still do, in France, Australia, Canada, and Spain. The order seemed to have been inspired by the ancient Knights Templar of France. The temple had many secret underground churches in Switzerland and had so-called lodges elsewhere in the world, covered in riches. It seems that the cult believed that God was a solar king and that their mission was to unite Christianity and Islamic faiths. Oof. In order to prepare for the second coming, the cult murdered a baby with a wooden stake at a lodge in Quebec. How to unite the people? Kill a baby. It's a kind of culty sense I've come to expect. Later they staged a reenacted Last Supper before killing dozens of people across the world, whilst other cult members committed mass suicides in response to, I quote, the hypocrisies and oppression of this world. 2 days before Christmas in 1995, 16 bodies were discovered in a star formation in the Vercors mountain of France. One of the dead included Olympian Edith Bonlieu. Now, one of the leaders arrested was famous composer Michael Tabernick. He was cleared of the charges and is now a free man. He was the leader of the Brussels Philharmonic Orchestra right up until 2015. Coming into number 4, we have Happy Science. Wait, but the name sounds so friendly and fun, like, I'm happy and I like science, maybe I found my people. Okay, don't joke about joining cults, Rebecca. People will take you seriously. So Happy Science are a new religious and spiritual cult founded by Ryu Okawa. Did I say that right? I don't know. Happy Science also doesn't have a lot to do with science at all, but they are working on the happy part. How do they get happy? Well, by denying historical massacres, saying they simply didn't happen. Happy Science claim to have 10 million followers around the world, which I do think is a
I guess if you're trying to ignore all the bad things that happen in the world, that's not too bad. It's one of the better cults on here so far, unless there's going to be some things that she's going to say that's going to make them gruesome. But I don't see too much wrong with this cult. I mean, what's wrong with trying to ignore all the bad things that happened in the past? You know, just trying to focus on the good and positive.
Stretch. They also claim they are in contact with aliens. And I know what you're thinking, but they have picture proof, except these pictures look suspiciously like stills from Star Wars in frames. Coming into number 3, we have the Temple of Lucifer. Vice did a great documentary about Colombia's Temple of Lucifer, and they are a satanic cult led by Victor Damian Rozzo, who claims to be none other than the son of the devil himself. It seems that Rozzo
He looks like he'll be a good person to play Lucifer in the television show.
Used to be a Catholic, but has decided to give his life to Lucifer and has made it his mission to recruit so-called Luciferians. The Vice video was published in 2017 and has had 2.4 million views. I honestly think it deserves more. It's a pretty interesting watch. So the Church of Lucifer actually has some pretty sweet decor. It's very nouveau Satan. There's so red leather chairs, red curtains, a big black and red satanic pentacle on the floor, backlit upside down crosses, and an altar to the Dark Lord himself. Kind of made it sound a bit like I'm talking about Voldemort. I'm actually talking about SCP-1, the Red Devil himself, the creation of all evil. Rozzo has claimed that a lot of high-profile people, including celebrities, have secretly visited the temple. In the Vice documentary, it seems that
You know, what's with celebrities and cults? Like, are they bored with their life? They have everything they want, money, fame. But again, I guess, then again, you know, all that doesn't really equal happiness. You know, famous people have killed themselves in the past and they had it all. But sometimes having it all is not enough because, you know, that's not happiness. Money is not happiness. Having everything you want is not happiness. Sometimes you just got to find your, you know, your true purpose or what really makes you happy. Everybody thinks, if I get famous, rich, I'm going to be happy. But, you know, a lot of times it's not. And people go join cults to look for that happiness still because they still can't find it. And, you know, they don't know what to do anymore.
Locals are perturbed by the amount of animals ritually sacrificed by the group. Do you want a peep inside of the church? I think you do. Now his sermon is being led in Spanish, but let's have a look anyway.
See, you know, maybe that's how they're supposed to dress, but I think they're ashamed of being there. I mean, do you see people in, you know, churches hide their faces or in other more public cults, whatever? Do you see people hiding their faces and all that kind of thing? I mean, if you're hiding your face, you're probably ashamed or scared you're going to be seen, and that kind of thing. If you're hiding your face, you shouldn't be doing it. If you can't show your face proudly, then don't do it.
Rozzo's invites people to become millionaires by making pacts with the devil, and honestly, I think that's kind of a bad idea. I don't really.
That goes the whole thing, sell your soul to the devil. Everybody wants to be millionaires because they think that's the way to happiness, and they will do anything to achieve it, even selling their soul.
Even it, but just go. Trust yourself to be a billionaire, not the devil. Ooh, coming into number 2, we have Aleph. Aleph, formerly known as Shinrikyo, is a horrifying Japanese doomsday cult. Again, I'm really sorry if I pronounced that wrong. This is their symbol, so watch out for it. Aleph was founded in 1987 by Shoko Ashara, a 40-year-old legally blind and former yoga teacher. He posed the religion under the guise of being a Buddhist group, and the group has traditionally been obsessed with prophecies. Aleph have been known to distribute anime and manga propaganda that cleverly hides their more radical ideals. Basically, to simplify this cult, they believe that the end of the world is coming and they want to be ready. The group have carried out several horrifying.
How many times have people, not even in cults, said the world's going to end? It's like every year, every 2 years, the world's going to end next year, the world's going to end this year, that year, this year.
Chemical attacks on the public too, including most famously the March 1995 Tokyo subway attack, which killed 13 commuters but affected over 1,000 people. Those who fall out of favor with the cult are murdered, their bodies are dumped. One super fun example was Kiyoshi Kiara, who was the brother of a member.
Did she just really say super fun example?
Escaped. He was abducted from Tokyo and taken to a compound near Mount Fuji, then cooked in a microwave-powered incinerator. You don't want to hustle with Aleph. While their leader Ashara has been arrested, Aleph still has around 2,000 members. Finally, coming into number 1, we have the KKK. Klan is basically another word for cult, and the Ku Klux Klan are an enduring hate cult that was founded on Christmas Eve, no less, in 1865 in Tennessee, USA. It seems that the headquarters these days hidden away in Arkansas. Most of you will have.
Do you notice a lot of the cults in this video wear the same hoods as the KKK? Kind of makes you wonder.
The KKK, they're a white supremacist group associated with right-wing extremism and neo-Nazi ideals, even though they predate the Nazis. The KKK were more prevalent in the late 1800s to mid-1900s and would frequently be behind lynchings of African Americans. The KKK have been deemed a terrorist organization. Famously, they held terrifying rallies in their cult disguise costumes, and they would burn crosses and set fire to buildings of their enemies, and worse. Children would and still are being raised in circles like this, believing staunchly in white purification. The history of the KKK is long, vast, gross, and not over. Ku Klux Klan chapters still exist in the US, as well as Europe, Canada, and weirdly, Fiji. So guys, what a list! That was the top 10 scariest cults that you don't want to meet. Again, does anyone want to meet any cult, to be fair? Don't forget to let me know if you joined a cult, what kind of cult would it be? I'm just thinking joke answers only to lighten the mood. Don't be stepping to me with any satanic stuff, because I don't want to.
Hey, everybody, let's join. Let's build a YouTube cult of creators. Not just joking. Like I said, I don't know what kind of cult I would join. I would just be interested in seeing what goes on behind the scenes and things you don't see on videos or in pictures, just to get a feel for what the hell is wrong with these people and what causes people to even go this route. Damn. So yeah, let me know in the comments below, if you were to join a cult or start a cult, what would it be? And what would it be the end game or goal, whatever you're trying to achieve with this cult? Anyways, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot and I appreciate it. And hit that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I upload new videos. And then till next time, see you later.